the reason because of the numbers of the games are going to go up, because the Champions League and the Premier League and then the cup games that you have, you need the numbers and also the quality to achieve it.
And it continues United's incredible home record this season. After that opening day setback, they've been unbeatable since.
Unbelievable, yeah. They had to make it a fortress, and they've done that. That went a little bit. Obviously, they lost the first. That's it, 27, 28 games now unbeaten at Old Trafford.
Premier League.
And if you're going to challenge for trophies and league titles especially, you've got to have your home form right. You've got to make teams fear coming to Old Trafford. And I think it's coming back a little bit. I still think teams are getting too many chances, as we've seen tonight. Yeah. Chelsea also had a lot of chances, but United have been quite lucky in some games this year and have managed to score their chances, and the other team missed. So I still think they have to tidy up on some things at home, but no, the signs are promising.
And what will Frank Lampard make of that tonight?
Look, there were enough opportunities. That's what Paul said. You know, like there were a lot of opportunities, but still, I said before the game I wanted to highlight that too. It was like it was too open. You know, when you go there, you don't be that open. You don't give them so. Look, you know they are as a side, they're more advanced because that's why they are at the position where they are. But still, keep it compact and just wait your moment because they got the opportunities. If you don't take them, okay, that's another story. But away from that, don't give them that much. And I felt like Chelsea gave them too much for them to really get into the game. And it was 2-0. And then the second half, it opened wide open. You could see the stretch was too big.
It's a result that pretty much sums up Chelsea's season in the Premier League. And this is where it leaves them in the league then with one game left of their campaign. The end of the campaign can't come soon enough. They remain 12th then. 43 points from 37 games. They're some 9 points off the top half, and they end the season at home to Newcastle on Sunday. For Manchester United, they will play Champions League football after a one-season absence. They move on to 72 points, which is now an unassailable lead. So Liverpool confirmed in 5th, and they will play Europa League football next season.
It's progress. They've got into the Champions League. They don't want to be playing on Thursday nights. Tuesday, Wednesday in the big competition.
You know all about Ten Hag's credentials. Has he matched your expectations in his first season at Manchester United, or has he exceeded them?
No, he definitely maxed them. In the sense of, I know him as a person. He's very calm. And he's always moving and thinking about the next step. Like, as much as this game is finished, he's already thinking about what's next. You know, and sometimes you go like, coach, take it easy. He's not like that. He will sit in the bus and sometimes analyzing already the next game he's got. So going back to what you guys just talked about, is that, okay, he got into the Champions League. His mindset is like, okay, I got into the Champions League. I won that cup. Now I got the other final. He's focused that final. He wants to win that. And it's not like, you know, sometimes people will go like, oh yeah, but he achieved that and this and that. No, he comes from Ajax. At Ajax is pressure of you have to win trophies. Bigger than what you have at Man U, but it's similar in the sense of you got to win something.
Yeah.
For him, it ain't no different that he came there. He knew the expectation, maybe the pressure was different because it's a bigger size, but the expectation is the same.
And what will it mean for him to get into the Champions League?
For him, it will mean that, you know, it's also easier in the market. When you come in the market and you have something like that, okay, the club you have, because that is the support you have. But now you put on the table, we play in Champions League. Come on, any individual, it doesn't matter where you are, right? Yep. You come in and you look at it, you go, Champions League? Well, when I was a kid, it kept me away from school because I had to travel. So that was already one thing. They said to me, they called me, they said like, Mario, you can't go to school because we got to leave for 3 days. I said, okay, I'm coming.
That's the benefits of entering a team so young, to be honest. Yeah. But, you know, this is a team that's clearly making great strides. And I suppose the FA Cup final around the corner. I mean, that's a big one in many respects. It's a dual-edged sword, is it not, for United now? If that's his focus, it's if not to win the FA Cup, but to deny City a treble.
Yes, it has been.
Which is a bigger motivation. That's the other thing.
It has been on a few people's minds in Manchester. I can guarantee you that. But that's not his objective to stop. Well, it's his objective to stop City on that day because he wants to win a trophy. Of course, he does. The treble's a totally different thing. Manchester United, they will be focused now. This is giving him a chance, I think, to rest his most important players on Sunday. Now, I say that, he doesn't tend to do that.
No.
He normally seems to stick with them.
And you think that's been a risky policy to use at this stage?
Yes, I do. And I went back to early in the season. I can't remember who it was. I think they were beating somebody 4-0 with half an hour to go. I thought, right, take Casemiro, take Shaw off. Rest these players for these bigger games, these Seville games that were coming up. But he just doesn't tend to do that. He likes to play the same players who are winning. As he's done tonight again, he gives them a chance. He doesn't drop. He doesn't like to change a winning team, does he? Which I totally understand. But I think on Sunday,
but isn't it security? Is it not security? You know, when you know as a coach, you know like what I'm going to get. Don't you want to stick to that?
Oh yeah, of course, yeah. But I think he has to...
There's got to be a moment when you veer away from it.
No, we talk about the intensity in England and how many coaches, how many of the great managers resting players all the time for these bigger games. Now, when I talk about naivety early in the season, I look back at that and think, there could have been times when he took Casemiro out of the team, took these players who are the more experienced. I think Casemiro for 7 or 8 games towards the end of the season, apart from the last couple of games, was a little bit quiet, a little bit tired. It's knowing them right times to take people out of the team.
But that's when you've got to place your faith in the backroom staff, the physios, to know who's entering that red zone, right?
Oh, no, don't.
You don't.
Let's go deep, man.
That's just watching with your eyes. He knows, but as I said, it's very much like Pep, and I think Pep was the same at Barcelona, the same at Manchester City. When his team are winning, they very rarely change anything. And look, it's great if they carry on winning, it doesn't change it. But
do you think he's got his fingers burnt because of Anthony as well? Going off injured. He's got to be careful.
Look, sometimes you can't really. You've got to play at the time. You just sometimes you get a little bit unlucky, and he's been unlucky tonight with Anthony, but he's got some good players to come in. You think of Rashford coming off the bench. I think Sancho is looking as good as he has done all season. I'm a little bit sorry the season's going to end for him. He's looking fit, he's looking trim, he's looking quick, and he's looking confident as well. So I think he could come into that final. The other part where I think about naivety with them, them big games where they lost, them big results where they lost away from home, he needs to put an extra player in midfield. I think he went into them. He likes, Mario might tell me differently, but he's a very attacking coach.
Yeah, no, definitely.
He wants to, he almost played Casemiro and 5 attacking players against Manchester City away, against Liverpool away. And I think at some point you have to learn against them teams. I think against City at home, he played an extra midfielder. I think Fred came in. They won the game.
Yeah.
Maybe has to sacrifice a little bit of his attacking philosophy to just shore things up a little bit.
I'll tell you what, Mario, we'll come to you in a second, and we'll talk about further down the line what Erik ten Hag needs to do ahead of the FA Cup final. But let's get some post-match reaction to tonight's form win at home over Chelsea. Bruno Fernandes is talking pitch-side with Patrick Davison.
Bruno, you had the trophy already. Now you've got top 4 to go with it. Does this confirm this is a really decent season for Manchester United?
Yes, it's decent, as you said. It's not perfect because we want more. But for what we did this season, I think it's great. 1 trophy, we get the top 4. That was our goal after we saw that we couldn't go for the Premier League. And now it's about finish the league well and go to the FA Cup and win.
How important have these guys been to you? How important has Old Trafford been to you? This is where you've driven on from and got a lot of your results.
Obviously, it's been amazing for us. We have won many games at home. I think they've been creating a great atmosphere for us, so they know how important they are for us. So I think you could see during the season how important it was in many games. So we just appreciate all the effort they have been giving.
You're popular.
Yeah, I know that.
And you making Champions League obviously means Liverpool doesn't, which is perhaps not one for the players, but it does mean a lot to them.
Yeah, we know that means a lot for us, obviously. It's about getting our goals completion, so we did. Obviously, we know that they'll be happy also for Liverpool to not be there, but for us it's not about that. It's getting the best we can for ourselves, because we have to look at ourselves.
We're not too far away from the spot where you won the penalty. After you scored it, what happened? It kicked off a little bit.
No, nothing. I just celebrate. Nothing was a goal.
Just enjoyed your goal.
Yeah, I was a little bit frustrated to not get my goal. I had a big chance that I missed, and I was a little bit frustrated, just that.
How important is that cup final now? I mean, look, all FA Cup finals are important, but with it being City and with them going for the treble, it feels a little bit like you're also defending the club's legacy.
No. We have to think, and as I said, it's about winning the trophy for us. Obviously, we have to take the trophy away from someone if we want to win it, but we're focusing ourselves and winning our games. and we want to win the FA Cup. It's a great competition. We know that it was really important here in England, and we want to win it. Just that. Obviously, we know if we win it, we ruin the option for the City doing the treble. We know that it's important for them, but for us as a players, it's about getting another trophy.
Well done.
Thank you very much.
Manchester.
Good goal. It's been a really good game actually. Both teams could have scored more goals. Basic crossing, Casemiro just wanders into a space and it's perfect for its head. He just needs to get a bit of something on it, and it's always every chance of him scoring. I'm sure Mario will have something to say about the defensive side of it.
Yeah, because if you look where Fofana and Chalobah are standing, they're standing behind, Lindelof and Casemiro. You can't be. One has to be between the two players of Man United. One player has to be there. Look how much freedom he gets. You should never allow anything like that to happen, especially away from home. These are moments where you have to be really awake of.
And looked at by VAR, as all goals are, of course, but just about onside.
Yeah, well, Casemiro, he didn't have to do any work to get the goal, did he? He just strolls through the centre of the defence where you'd expect, as you say, Fofana has to be there. He has to be there, Chan. You can't just let a forward walk into that area, and that's all he's done. There's no clever, brilliant movement about it. He just walked into a little space and managed to score the goal.
Both sides had decent chances up until half-time, but United did take theirs, or one of them I should say, just before the half-time whistle. This was well created, Paul.
Yeah, this is brilliant from Casemiro. Good both from Casemiro and Sancho. It's a little no-look pass. I think he's trying to go over them. He goes in between them in the end. But I love the composure, the calmness that Sancho shows. Normally you see lads thrashing at it and have a go at goal. He's looking for somebody in a better position. Just slides it beautifully across the box and says, Martial, go and get yourself a goal.
Yeah, but we highlighted, if you see where Azpilicueta is standing, we highlighted him because he's dropping the line too far back, and that also plays them on. And then Sancho gets, of course, he has the composure and the calmness of putting Martial in. But away from that, as a defending line, you got to be at least, if you're dropping off, then everybody has to drop. And if you break the line, it should never be your fullback that's breaking it. And that's what's happening here. And come on, we know Azpilicueta has enough experience, but he should not be able to break that line because that's crucial. He will look back at it and will say that to himself too. I went too far back.
Yeah, and Frank Lampard will be disappointed because he's by clearly the most experienced player on that field, considering the average age is, just over 23 years. But Chelsea's chances, Mario, talk to me. How good are these opportunities?
Look, guys, when you there, they call it the Stadium of Dreams. You got to make that dream for yourself too, because if you go there and you get that opportunity, or the Theater of Dreams, if you go there, you got to make sure that you score those goals, because look how many opportunities they're getting. You understand? And also some moments are. That's what I'm saying. If you have a striker, he has to be really crucial. And look what happens. He headed the ball wide.
Oh, some chances. I feel a bit sorry for Chelsea. They've been really unlucky in them. It's created some brilliant chances, but I think this is why we're seeing where they are. They've got no centre forward, and the team do not want to defend. They're not interested. Midfield players are not interested in running back. When the ball gets in the final third, they all get excited. Yes, we can play some nice football and create chances. Going the other way, they're a shambles.
Because I also think like you said, like the opportunities they're getting. Normally you don't get that many opportunities when you come. No, and that you get them now.
So if you were told you were going to have those opportunities before the game.
Yeah.
Oh man, you'll be so happy. Look how many opportunities they got. They should have scored at least one of all of them they had.
But funny enough, at Man United this year, this has been a lot of games.
Yeah.
A lot of teams have come and created chances, but they haven't taken the chance. I can think of Arsenal games. Brighton won the game obviously, but teams are creating a lot of chances. But it's okay coming away and saying we should have won that game.
Yeah.
You're not scoring goals. You're Man United are getting one or two and doing enough to win the game.
Does the half-time scoreline flatter United for you?
A little bit, although I thought United could have had 3 or 4 goals as well. If there were clinical teams with composure, with centre forwards with composure, with a ruthlessness about them, this game should be 3 or 4 all at half-time.
The Red Devils with Manchester United leading Chelsea by 2-0 after the first half. It means United are moving on to 72 points and therefore sealing their place in the top 4 and the return to Champions League football for next season. We're hearing of a change then for Manchester United.
في المايه خلي بالك انزل بالمايه
مش عارف الصعد جايب امان ازاي
انزل بالمايه يا ابو ياسين
بيضحك
بيمشي
عليك يا ابو ياسين عشان يموتك يضحك عليك
والله العظيم شفته بيمشي في المايه
بس هو تقريبا كده مش هيعدي الكوبري صح؟
اه
هوب.
انزل بقى في المية. مش هيعدي. والله شفته بيمشي في
لما
المية.
ينزل كده وياسين اما نشوف بيعوم ولا لا. ياهو ده صيع.
يعني انا هكدب عليك يعني.
انت
بس ايه رأيك؟
الله ده احسن العربية واحسن من الجدعان.
اه بيعدها في لحظة.
اه
لو
انا افتكرتك
انا
عايز تعمل مقلب يا ليفت.
لو انا ما قلتلكمش كنت ما كنتش عملت.
انا بحسبك عايز تعمل.
انت فجرني. ايوه تعالى تعالى. سيبه يفجرني.
انا عايزه افكر
الواحد نازل جيم حلو يا جدعان. عيل بيض.